Fortnite is currently embarrassing the Call of Duty franchise, and I want to take some time to talk about why. Now, for the record, I am a Call of Duty fan. I have been playing since Call of Duty 2, and I spent a lot of the better years of my life playing through Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, etc. And while the Call of Duty franchise will always hold a special place in my heart, I have to be honest and admit that things don't feel so great right now. I recently started playing Fortnite at the beginning of Chapter 6, and I have to tell you, as a fan of both live service games and battle royales, Epic Games is embarrassing Activision with what they're putting out today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into what I think Fortnite is doing better, and make sure to give me your take in the comments down below. Do you think Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone are performing better, and why? So the first point of comparison I want to bring up is cheaters. Now, any live service game will have its share of cheaters. It's inevitable. The big difference, in my opinion, is that Epic takes a hard stance on cheaters. From my understanding, they are very aggressive with banning accounts and then also banning IP addresses when they find people who have been utilizing cheats. And recently it has actually come out that they have taken somebody utilizing cheats to court and won against them after the person being sued failed to show up. Epic Games gets the payout on that ruling, and they're donating the funds to charity, which is great, but the big win is the fact that this sets a precedent for anyone who thinks about cheating or distributing cheats for Fortnite going forward. Moves like this are not purely symbolic, they set a precedent and expectation for your player base. Hey, you can try and use cheats if you want, you may even get away with it for a little while, but if and when we catch you, there will be consequences. Conversely, let's take a look at Call of Duty and Warzone. Now, I'm not a great player, I don't play that often, but I have seen my fair share of cheaters and hackers, and I don't even play on PC. There are people aimbotting, walling, rage hacking, you name it, Warzone's got it. What's worse is probably the expectation at this point from players of Call of Duty that there will be cheaters in any given match. When I'm watching somebody on Twitch and they get shot from halfway across the map with pinpoint accuracy and one perfect headshot, they do not act like this is a one-off crazy occurrence. They act like this is another day in the office. Players of Warzone expect to see cheaters, and that is a terrible state of mind to be in a game that you're trying to play competitively. Or hell, even those who are casual like me who want to play for fun. If I'm seeing somebody in my console games with aim that would make Shroud blush, there's a problem. It seems to me, at least, that Epic Games has a much better stance and outlook on how to tackle cheaters. It gives me a lot more confidence as a player that they will get the job done. With Call of Duty, we may get some fixes, we probably won't, at least not until the next yearly update rolls out and we pay another $70 to $80 for the privilege of playing that. And this is before we even talk about professional Warzone streamers who are getting stream sniped and hacked on in professional tournament qualifiers. There is money on the line, not to mention the reputation and revenue of the streamers themselves. And unfortunately, the hackers are just something they're gonna have to deal with if they choose to play this game. Hopefully Activision can get their act together and actually take hacking seriously, especially if they want to be able to push Call of Duty and Warzone as the competitive edge of live service and battle royale gaming. Another thing that I think Fortnite is doing that completely blows Call of Duty out of the water is its collaborations. Now, Fortnite has a lot of goofy characters. There's a lot of cartoony characters, there's weird collabs with Adventure Time or Hank Hill. Pretty much anything and everything that can be in Fortnite will be. But the thing is, I expect that with Fortnite. They have a multiverse element built directly into the narrative, and the cartoony, colorful art style lends itself to having all these different characters meet up for a fun, lighthearted battle royale. On the other side of the coin, let's take a look at Call of Duty. This is a gritty, war-focused game where you play an action hero, single-handedly dancing on a razor's edge between failure and victory, fighting alongside your squad mates, Beavis and fucking Butthead. What are we doing? And that's before we even factor in weird celebrity cameos like Nicki Minaj or Seth Rogen, or the plethora of pot-focused skins that flood the shop every week. Now that's not to say we can't have fun, we can't have lighthearted skins, but it seems like every single skin in the game is goofy rather than cool. For every one military sim skin or dark gothic character, we get about 10 different marijuana-themed cartoon anime characters. If those are your things, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you have options. But when I sit down to play Call of Duty, I want to play something gritty and realistic. Not saying that every skin has to be MilSim, but I would rather play with a skin that is cool than something that is funny or a drug paraphernalia reference. I touched on this briefly in a previous video, but it really comes off as they're trying too hard, like they're an older kid trying to hang out with the youth. How do you do, fellow kids type shit? And honestly, it is embarrassing. I think I summed it up best in that previous video. When your game is dictated by the rule of cool, becoming cringe is a death sentence. Hopefully they can kind of redirect their focus on future operator skins, but with carry forward, the damage may already be done. And the last but not least thing that I think Fortnite is doing better than Call of Duty right now is their focus on making the game fun. Sounds simple, right? It really should be. But Call of Duty is focused on rehashing the same game mode with a new coat of paint instead of coming up with something actually innovative and fun for their players to play. With Fortnite not even counting the difference between builds and zero builds. You have regular Battle Royale, you have Reload, you have Blitz Royale as a new fun, quick mode to play. You have Fortnite Festival, Ballistic, and an endless number of user-created islands to mess around in. Not saying that Call of Duty needs to diversify things to this level, because in some ways I feel like Fortnite is doing too much. They're trying to do too many things at once. But I believe in my heart of hearts that some of the devs there have to have some passion left. They have to be able to think of something creative and fun to put into their game. And unfortunately, I feel like the higher ups are stifling that creativity. They're pushing all these innovations off for the next title, since they need players to buy in again at full price at the end of the year. Fortnite is not afraid to try different modes, adjust them if they're not working, and most of all, they're not afraid to have their players feel powerful and like they can play the game in any way they want. At the end of the day, I love both the games. I wouldn't be this passionate about the trajectory that Call of Duty has gone on recently if I wasn't a big fan of the franchise. I just want to see them step it up, deliver a little more for the player. And I feel like, right now at least, Fortnite is doing far more to deliver for their players. Now, that's not to say they do everything perfect or they can't improve as well, but when you look at the experience each game is delivering, it's like comparing apples and oranges, man. I want Call of Duty to be good again. I want them to be able to deliver something fun and engaging. And most of all, I want to feel conflicted about which game I want to put my time into, because they're both so good. Maybe we can eventually get there, and maybe that's just a pipe dream of mine. But that's just my take on everything. What do you guys think? Do you think Call of Duty is doing better right now, or is Fortnite putting them to shame? Give me your takes in the comments down below. While you're down there, feel free to subscribe if you have not already. That would mean a lot. Leave a little like on the video if you enjoyed it. Or dislike it if you didn't. That's fine too. But with all that said, I'm gonna go wax nostalgic about the games that I can no longer play without fear of getting my entire PC hacked. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and as always, make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you, and I'll see you in the next one, friends.